It's an unintended side effect of Samsung's court battle with Apple, a rarer, more detailed look at the sales of the South Korean company. A recent IDC report estimates Samsung sold 2.4 million tablets last quarter, but of those, only 37,000 were sold in the U.S. It's raising eyebrows at CNN. While it's possible that Samsung's overseas sales made up the difference, it's extremely unlikely. If Samsung really sold 2.4 million tablets last quarter, as IDC estimates, 1.5% were sold in the U.S. and 98.5% overseas. That's pretty hard to believe. GigaOM imagines someone somewhere is counting devices sent to retailers as sold. But the more likely explanation boils down to the problem with reporting numbers of products shipped versus sold. Does selling to a retailer count as sold if the product sits on a shelf in a store instead of in the hands of a customer? Either way, Boy Genius report explains Samsung pulled down $644 million in tablet sales since 2010, which is still a higher margin business than its phones. Of course, that can't stack up to Apple, the Register reports. Even taking a comparative timeline for Apple from the third quarter of 2010 until the second quarter of 2012, the company sold 32 million iPads for $17.6 billion, kicking Samsung sales to the curb, at least in the U.S. And the handset gap is significant as well. According to the court filings, Apple has sold 65.5 million iPhones since 2010. Samsung has cleared 21.2 million. And its fastest mover isn't even a flagship. Instead, Gizmodo says it's a decidedly middle-of-the-road prepaid smartphone running a dated version of Android. The Galaxy Prevail individually sold 2.25 million phones, while the entire Galaxy S2 series, with all of its variants, reached 4.1 million of sales in that two-year span. It's nowhere close to being the best phone that Samsung makes, and yet it's easily the most popular. Crazy. So there's some revelatory info coming to light, giving all of us a better idea of how these huge companies operate. But All Things D says the only reason we're getting it is because both Apple and Samsung want an edge, and this is the only way to get one. Lawyers for the companies have been trying to keep as much of this detail out of the public view as possible, but that battle appears largely lost. The jury will need the numbers, of course, if it finds infringement by either Samsung or Apple of the other's patents in order to determine damages. The jury is expected to reach a decision at the end of the summer. For Newsy, I'm Candace Aviles, Multiple Sources, The Real Story.